Welcome back to the broadcast. Well, something alarming on Facebook News today came up today. Apparently, the trial of City Harvest's two leaders, Sun Ho, is on trial, and apparently it's watching all over the news that she was of the criminal breach of trust. Apparently, the case of criminal breach of trust of two leaders of misappropriating $18 million, $16 to $18 million of funds raised by children and adults in City Harvest Church. In the name of charity and Christianity again we see the misappropriation of funds from these two pastors into Sun Ho Senior Music Korea, which was trying to label herself as a geisha. In the music industry as a Wyclef Jean rapper. In Wyclef Jean's latest video, which was, what was it called? Just give me a minute. China Wine. Apparently, as she said she was uncomfortable with, latest news says she's uncomfortable with the Jamaican reggae style, but apparently she acted like a whore in the movie, apparently a Chinese whore, and danced around as a Chinese prostitute who was a representative, someone who was a representative of a highly called member of the so-called New Age church, City Harvest, was apparently, well, the church is not suing her acting as the whore in the American music industry, trying to break into the industry as a Chinese hooker singer, where apparently most singers in the American rap industry are. She's breaking into it as a pastor, a representation of Christianity. Well, we're not here saying heralding the religion now, and I'm not completely anti-religion, but this is how the case is trialed out. Apparently, $16 million in criminal funds is transferred into a company called Exxon, and this corporation is, it's really lame. You're debating the lawyers in the news to say it. The lawyers defending the pastors, the church, is defending, saying that all the funds are transferred honestly under the eyes of the law, under the eyes of the church. I'm sorry, he wants to say under the eyes of the law. Under the eyes of the church, it was transparent apparently that the $16 million from the church building fund will be transferred into Sun Ho's music career. But apparently this corporation, which they said Exxon, is a wholly independent corporation, which they're using to argue isn't a criminal breach of trust. Which, in my case, if I were to trial this case, I would, if I'm the public prosecutor, of course, it would be a criminal breach of trust because this corporation is fully independent, which proves that it has its own independent purview, which proves the dishonesty of the leaders when they set up a shell corporation, purporting to misappropriate $16 million. The intention is clear of dishonesty by shielding it with the corporate bill that the corporation runs its own independent decisions, not akin to the church. So this would be a clear-cut case of criminal breach of trust. And we're all discussing this in court, in the lawyers' chambers, or anywhere else in law school, and even in public newspapers. This should be trial. I mean, The newspaper should actually publish this. How should the trial be trial? How should we go ahead sue the company, the corporation, the church, instead of just shielding it under the name of God? I don't understand what kind of God Christians are worshiping these days, with prostitution and a prostitution label on a church leader who is supposedly a pastor. Well, apparently they can come up with a lot of mythical beliefs. Like, for example, they would like to say that this church likes to be more New Age because they would like to sell themselves to misleading teenagers. So they hide and smuggle pastors as prostitutes to win them over. Apparently your pastor is a prostitute. What's there to talk about? I mean, she's a prostitute in the eyes of the American industry, which is the eyes of the whole world. What kind of secret pastoring are you trying to do? Whether or not she's a pastor, she misappropriated the funds, $16 million from charity, which, under the eyes of the law, is criminal breach of trust. Criminal breach of trust is defined in section 405 of the Penal Code, which says when a person is entrusted property or has dominion over property and dishonestly misappropriates this and converts that property. By this conversion, we can see that they converted $60 million into Axon. Axon is the conversion of his dominion, of his authority, which is translated into an independent corporation. And then it's a violation of the law of an illegal contract, which was the legal contract between the fundraisers and the church. That the funds were solely used for church building funds, which was to use to build a part of City Harvest Church's new building. And this would be an aggravation to Section 406, which is punishable by imprisonment or fine or both. Aggravation of forms of criminal breach of trust provided for in Section 407 to 409. Well, this is Googleable now. You can Google this online. What is criminal breach of trust? So guys, this is the information section for you. This is how the trial should be run. Toodles!